All right, so Guy, what do you make of that? Because again, this has had consequences on opinions in this region, hasn't it? And throughout the world, really. There has been somewhat of division where, as I put to you earlier also, that there's been one side, people saying, listen, he had to be taken out, and the other side, people saying, you've endangered U.S. allies in the region, because Iran came out very strongly and said, we'll attack any ally of the United States who helps the U.S. in attacking us and or further, implementing this maximum pressure campaign, for example. Do you think that this will play in favor of the U.S. image in the region, or will this not do any favors for Trump going forward, even if he does want to further now pressurize Iran?
Well, the baseline for opinion in the region towards the United States has been sort of relatively low, at least on a public level. So you find there's not a lot of great support, or at least a lot of skepticism about sort of the interests and the motivations of the United States when they carry out such actions. Obviously, it's presented and portrayed as defending American interests, defending American concerns, and also those of their allies. But I think often the public sort of see this as, in a much more skeptical mind. But so I think in that sense, the position of the United States was already relatively low to begin with. So Trump just adds to that. But as you sort of started at the outset of this discussion about sort of the Pew Research findings, what is interesting is this differentiation between sort of opinion towards the United States on one hand and opinion towards Trump on the other. And what seems to be interesting is that at least globally, confidence or favorability in the United States seems to be holding up. And that obviously raises questions about why. And a lot of that could potentially probably be to do with sort of the role of American soft power, the influence of sort of American culture, which is not necessarily absorbed in its totality around the world, but is adjusted and modified and adapted and molded. Things like Hollywood music and American culture play very well in the rest of the world. And that includes in the Middle East as well.